Most people think they know the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's ancient, it's massive, and it's been standing in the Egyptian desert for over 4,500 years. But what if I told you this iconic monument is hiding a dark and mysterious secret? Something that was only discovered a few years ago. Using a technology that sounds like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. Hidden deep within its stone walls, scientists have found something they weren't prepared for. A massive void, untouched for millennia. What's inside? No one knows. Could it be a hidden chamber meant for a pharaoh's treasure? A long-lost secret of ancient engineering, or something far stranger? Today, we're diving into one of the greatest mysteries of human history, the void inside the Great Pyramid. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Historiclish. Today, we're doing a deep dive into one of the topics found on the Ancient Mysteries iceberg, the void in the Great Pyramid. If you enjoyed this content, let me know down in the comments. I'll continue to do deep dives, but without further ado, let's jump right in. The Great Pyramid of Giza is a structure so old it predates the invention of the wheel. Built around 2560 BC during Egypt's 4th dynasty, it was commissioned by Pharaoh Khufu to serve as his eternal resting place. At nearly 500 feet tall in its original state, it was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4 millennia. Even now, after 4,500 years of weathering and looting, it still stands at an impressive 455 feet. But this isn't just any colossal pile of stones, it's a triumph of ancient engineering. The pyramid is composed of approximately 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, with an estimated total weight of over 6 million tons. Some of the granite blocks used in the King's Chamber alone weigh as many as 80 tons, transported over 500 miles from Aswan. How the ancient Egyptians managed to quarry, move, and position these stones with such precision remains one of the greatest mysteries in architectural history. Inside, the pyramid's design reflects the Egyptian obsession with the afterlife. The King's Chamber, made of massive granite blocks, lies at the heart of the structure. Above it, 5 relieving chambers were built to protect it from the immense weight of the stones above. A sloping corridor known as the Grand Gallery leads to the chamber, while the so-called Queen's Chamber sits lower in the pyramid, its purpose still debated by experts. What makes this structure even more extraordinary is its alignment. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. Its sides deviate by less than a degree, an incredible feat considering the tools available at the time. Many believe this alignment wasn't just practical, but symbolic, representing a connection between Earth and the cosmos, tying the pyramid to the stars and also to the divine. The ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs were divine beings, intermediaries between humans and the gods. The pyramid wasn't just a tomb, it was a gateway. The shafts leading out of the King's Chamber were aligned with the specific stars, like Sirius and Orion's belt, were thought to guide Khufu's soul to the heavens where he would join the gods. But to this day, the Great Pyramid still holds secrets. No writings explain how it was built, and no treasures were ever found inside. Was it looted in antiquity, or was it never meant to hold material wealth? And how did the Egyptians achieve such architectural precision without advanced tools or machinery? These are still questions that archaeologists and engineers are still trying to answer. Over the centuries, the pyramid has been explored, studied, and marveled at by everyone from ancient travelers to modern archaeologists. Despite being one of the most studied monuments on Earth, every layer of stone, every chamber, and every shaft seems to pose another question. And for all of our modern advancements, the Great Pyramid remains as much a mystery today as it was to the people who first stood in its shadow thousands of years ago. In 2017, a team of international scientists made a groundbreaking discovery inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, something that shocked the archaeological world and reignited debates about this ancient monument. Using advanced imaging techniques, they identified a massive unexplored space deep within the pyramid known today as the Great Void. The discovery was the result of the Scan Pyramids project, an ambitious initiative launched in 2015 by a team of researchers from Egypt, Japan, France, and Canada. The project aimed to use non-invasive, cutting-edge technology to study the internal structure of Egypt's pyramids, including Khufu's Great Pyramid, without damaging the ancient monument. Among the tools that they used was a revolutionary technique called Muon radiography. Muon radiology works by detecting cosmic rays, subatomic particles called muons that constantly bombard Earth from space. When these particles pass through a dense structure, like a pyramid, they are absorbed or deflected at different rates depending on the density of the material. By placing detectors around the pyramid, scientists can create a 3D map of its interior, identifying voids and solid areas. Above the Grand Gallery, one of the pyramid's most well-known internal passages, the data revealed a massive unexplored space. Measuring approximately 98 feet in length and with an unknown height, this void is comparable to the size of the Grand Gallery itself, one of the pyramid's most monumental and mysterious features. This was actually the first major discovery inside the Great Pyramid since the 19th century. The void is located just above the Grand Gallery, but it is completely separate from any known chamber or passageway. It's not accessible from the pyramid's current internal network, and there's no visible evidence of its existence from the exterior. Its isolation raises questions about its purpose. Was it intentional, or is it merely a structural feature? The discovery wasn't made by accident. In fact, the Scan Pyramids team used 3 separate muon detection techniques to confirm the results. This included nuclear emulsion plates placed inside the pyramid, gas detectors that measured muon trajectories, and scintillator detectors which used light to track muon interactions. Each method independently confirmed the existence of the void, leaving no doubt that it was in fact there. And actually, the void wasn't the only anomaly detected during the project. The team also identified smaller voids and irregularities, adding to the puzzle of how the Great Pyramid was constructed. But the sheer size and central location of this void made it the most significant finding. The researchers published their results in the prestigious journal Nature in November of 2017, which caused a massive global stir. Reactions to the discovery were mixed. Archaeologists and Egyptologists were excited but cautious, emphasizing the need for more context to understand the void's purpose. Meanwhile, the general public and some French theorists began speculating widely about what could be hidden inside. But here's the catch. Exploring the void is no easy task. It's completely sealed off with no known passages leading to it. Excavating through the pyramid's limestone and granite would risk damaging one of the most iconic structures in human history. And for now, the void remains an untouchable mystery known only through the chases left by cosmic rays. And obviously, this discovery raises many questions that need answers. What was the space used for? Was it part of the pyramid's original design? Something added later? And why was it hidden for thousands of years, escaping the notice of countless explorers from ancient looters to modern archaeologists? So let's dive into some of those theories. The first is the structural or engineering purpose. One of the most practical and honestly widely accepted theories is that the void was created for structural purposes. Similar to the relieving chambers above the king's chamber, this space could serve to reduce the immense pressure exerted by the stones above the Grand Gallery. By leaving the area empty, the ancient builders may have been protecting the Grand Gallery from potential collapse. Its placement directly above one of the pyramid's central passageways strongly supports this idea. Another possibility is that the void is the remnant of an unfinished or abandoned corridor. Ancient builders often adapted their plans during construction, and this space could represent a passageway or chamber that was started then, but deemed unnecessary or even impractical. Some features aren't uncommon in ancient structures where changes were often made as projects evolved. The second option, as is very common among every single ancient mystery I've discussed, is the ceremonial or religious purpose. The Great Pyramid wasn't just a tomb, it was a sacred gateway for the soul of Pharaoh Khufu to ascend to the afterlife. Some researchers propose that the void could have served a ceremonial function, perhaps as a hidden chamber for rituals. Ancient Egyptians believed that the death was a journey to another world, and the pyramid's design reflects their obsession with ensuring a smooth transition for the deceased pharaoh's soul. This void, situated high within the pyramid, might have been a sacred space used for secret ceremonies conducted by priests. Another theory ties the void to ancient Egyptian astronomy. The shafts in the king's chamber aligned with specific stars, such as Sirius and Orion's belt, which were associated with the afterlife. The void's central location and size suggest it could have been used as a star chamber or an observatory, designed for rituals or observations of celestial events that were integral to Egyptian spirituality. Then there's some storage or repository theories. The void might have also been a practical storage space during the construction of the pyramid. It could have housed tools, scaffolding, or other equipment used by workers. Once construction was complete, the space could have been sealed off and forgotten, leaving behind a time capsule of ancient construction practices. Alternatively, the void might also hold treasures or other artifacts. Despite extensive exploration, no treasures have ever been found in the Great Pyramid, leading some to speculate that they were deliberately concealed in an inaccessible area to protect them from looters. If the void does contain Khufu's treasures or sacred items, it could redefine our understanding of ancient Egyptian burial practices and the lengths they used to safeguard their pharaoh's legacy. Then there's some symbolic or metaphysical purposes. The void could have been just a symbolic or metaphysical role. Some Egyptologists believed it may represent a spiritual gateway, part of the pyramid's role as a bridge between earth and the heavens. In this interpretation, the void would serve no physical function, but act as a symbolic space connecting the pharaoh's earthly tomb to his divine destiny. Another interesting idea is that the void was designed as an acoustic chamber. Ancient cultures often incorporated sound into their religious ceremonies, and the void's shape and location could have amplified chants or even music. This would have created an otherworldly atmosphere during rituals, enhancing the spiritual experience for those present. There's also the advanced construction techniques. This is another practical theory suggesting that the void was part of the construction process itself. Some experts believe it could have been an internal ramp or tunnel used to transport stones during the pyramid's construction. The logistics of moving massive stone blocks into place remain one of the greatest mysteries of the pyramid, and an internal ramp system would have been a clever solution. The void might be a leftover element of this system, now sealed and forgotten. Another possibility is that the void was left intentionally to account for thermal expansion. Large stone structures can shift and expand due to temperature changes, and the empty space may have been a feature designed to stabilize the pyramid over time. This theory would highlight the incredible foresight and engineering skill of the ancient builders. And then, of course, to get into some of the wackier theories, some theorists suggest the void is part of a grander, more advanced design. The power generator theory proposes that the Great Pyramid was not a tomb, but an ancient machine designed to harness energy. According to this idea, the pyramid's materials, limestone casing, granite, and possibly conductive elements, were deliberately chosen to channel energy, such as static electricity, or even a form of wireless power. The void, in this scenario, might have been an essential component in this energy system, acting as a resonance chamber or a conduit. Obviously, this theory is out there, and there's really no direct evidence to support it, but proponents of this theory argue that the precision and complexity of the pyramid's construction suggest knowledge far beyond what ancient humans were believed to possess. Then, of course, you can't talk about Egypt for some reason without talking about aliens. Some people propose that the void is linked to extraterrestrial involvement. According to the ancient astronaut theory, beings from another world may have designed or influenced the construction of the Great Pyramid, and the void could house advanced alien technology or serve as a communication device. Others speculate that the void might contain a hidden map or encoded message. This message could hold secrets about the builder's knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, or even the universe itself. And while these ideas lack any evidence at all, for some reason, it's all the internet can talk about. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, accessing the Great Void presents an enormous challenge, and it's not just about logistics. The Great Pyramid is one of humanity's most treasured monuments, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a symbol of Egypt's cultural heritage. Any attempt to explore this hidden space must tread carefully to avoid damaging the structure or disrespecting its historical and cultural significance. The void is completely sealed off with no visible passageways or connections to the known interior chambers. To physically reach it, scientists would have to drill through the dense limestone or granite blocks that form the pyramid. Even a tiny hole for a robotic probe could risk destabilizing nearby stones or altering the integrity of a structure that has stood for over 4,500 years. For now, most researchers agree that direct physical access is not worth the potential damage. This hasn't stopped people from exploring creative solutions, though. Robotic technology has advanced significantly in recent years, and one potential approach could involve drilling a tiny, non-invasive hole through a pre-identified weak point in the pyramid. A small robot equipped with cameras and sensors could then be inserted to explore the void without causing major disruption. This technique was successfully used in 2011 to investigate one of the mysterious shafts leading from the Queen's Chamber itself. Other researchers advocate for further advancements in non-invasive imaging techniques. Muon tomography, the same technology that discovered the void, could be refined to produce high-resolution images. Advanced scanning techniques like ground-penetrating radar or thermal imaging might also offer additional insights without disturbing the pyramid. But even with these technologies, there's still an ethical debate about this. Should we disturb one of humanity's greatest monuments in pursuit of knowledge? My vote is yes. So yeah, the discovery of the Great Void is more than just an archaeological curiosity. It has profound implications for our understanding of history, engineering, and humanity itself. If the void turns out to be structural, it could revolutionize what we know about ancient Egyptian engineering. The Great Pyramid has long been admired for its architectural precision, but this discovery may shed light on the techniques and planning that allowed the ancient builders to construct such a massive and enduring structure. It might even offer clues about the tools and processes used, filling gaps in our understanding of this monumental feat. If the void is functional or ceremonial, its implications are equally fascinating. It could provide more insights into the spiritual practices of ancient Egyptians and their beliefs about the afterlife. A hidden ceremonial chamber, a star chamber, or even an acoustic chamber for rituals would deepen our understanding of the role spirituality played in ancient Egyptian society. And what if the void isn't unique? The use of Muon tomography has already raised the possibility of similar discoveries in other pyramids or ancient structures around the world. Imagine if we could uncover hidden chambers in the pyramids of Menkaure, the Red Pyramid, or even structures outside of Egypt. But what I love about this is that even in an age of advanced technology, the Great Pyramid, one of the most studied monuments in the world, still holds secrets. The discovery of the Great Void is proof that even the most studied monuments can surprise us, revealing secrets hidden for millennia. Whether it's a structural feature, a ceremonial chamber, or something else that's just far more ridiculous, the void reminds us that the past still has much to teach us. So what do you think the Great Void is hiding? A forgotten construction space, a sacred chamber, or perhaps a relic of ancient technologies? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'd love to hear your theories. I'd love to hear if it's one of the theories I mentioned or something that I didn't say entirely. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's greatest ancient mysteries, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos about ancient mysteries. Thank you so much to my patrons, Lise Heflin, G Donut, Dr. Swag, Dhruv Singhal, Dates and Dead Guys, Patrick, and Bean Fart and Ganja Girl. I appreciate all of you, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. See you in the next episode.